A convoy of aid trucks making the journey from Egypt to the Gaza Strip, forced to stop at the Rafah border crossing Sunday morning after Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu announced that Israel would be blocking all humanitarian aid from entering the enclave.
The entry of goods and supplies into Gaza will be prevented, and it must be emphasized Hamas currently controls all of the supplies and goods that are being sent to the Gaza Strip.
The Israeli leader saying he made the decision in line with the U.S. envoy to the Middle East ceasefire proposal.
Witkoff proposed the framework for extending the ceasefire after gaining the impression that there is no possibility at present of bridging between the positions. He even defined his proposal as a corridor for negotiations on the second stage.
The White House and the Israeli government have been pushing for an extension of phase 1 of the ceasefire in an effort to bring the remaining hostages home. But Hamas rejected the idea, saying the group preferred to follow the original plan and begin discussions on phase 2 of the agreement. Netanyahu now issuing the aid blockade in what appears to be an effort to force Hamas into compliance.
If Hamas continues to stick to its position and does not release our hostages, there will be additional consequences.
With the majority of the Gaza Strip laying in ruins, Palestinians say a lack of aid will only increase their already daily suffering.
Frankly, since the beginning of the war, they've been trying to starve us. People are afraid of the return of war and facing death. We know from experience that the occupation never abides by any promise or agreement. So, we're not surprised.
We appeal to all UN countries and humanitarians around the world to stand against this ban and to do justice for these people.
The families of the Israeli hostages still trapped in Gaza are speaking out as well, offering a mix of opinions on their government's decision.
In my opinion, they should have never started with the humanitarian supply. I don't think the Gazans should be starved, but according to all parameters, their storages are overflowing with food. I would have started with one thing, to stop the fuel supply. Not all humanitarian aid, just the fuel, so Hamas won't be able to drive from one place to another.
I'm incredibly concerned about what's happening right now. At this point, we were supposed to be hearing all about the second phase and how Israel and Hamas and the mediators are planning to bring all the hostages back, including my cousin. And all we're hearing right now is that we are going back to war.
Holding the humanitarian aid trucks from entering Gaza is also affecting our hostages.
Under the original ceasefire agreement, discussions on the second phase should have began weeks ago. Phase 2 was intended to see the full withdrawal of Israeli troops from Gaza and continued negotiations over the release of the remaining 59 hostages. Hamas is calling Israel's decision to block aid and extend phase 1, quote, blackmail and a blatant coup against the agreement.